now it's time for Anton Akentiev from Thetta DAO Framework from Moscow.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, greet him, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, nice. How is it going? How is it going? Can hear you. Please answer. Going good? Okay. Are you tired, by the way? Are you tired? Say no, no. Okay. Are you excited? Okay. Okay, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Anton. I'm a founder of Thetta DAO Framework. So I've been in the crypto space since 2015. Before we started Thetta, I was running my own outsourcing company, and we have built more than 15 projects. So a couple of words about our product, what we are building right now. So you can use Thetta DAO framework in order to migrate your organization into a DAO, first of all, to formalize processes, to end incentives, and to effectively govern your organization, okay? So that's what we are building. Compared with big guys from like Aragon and DAO Stack, we are not going to build this huge operating system, so-called operating system solution. We are like, we want to provide our clients with governance and permission manager, and that's it. We don't have runtime support, and we don't want to. So today, next one. Whoop, whoop. It doesn't work. So today I'm going to deliver a really short talk about what self-sovereign identity concept is. I'm sure you have heard about self-sovereign identity. My talk is going to be really short, like 10 minutes only. So because I'm a bit tired of like partying here in Prague, so thanks, Max. I hope you will enjoy it. So let's review some of the common, say, internet trends. Trend number one is that instead of storing your data on top of some centralized solution, user stores it on his side, okay? So he owns the data and can send it to peers on demand. Eventually, trend number two is that user can sell this data by using, for example, Ocean protocol and Streamer. So Ocean basically is a data marketplace where data producers can sell data and data providers can buy it. But there is one problem in this case, called piracy. So what if I sell or buy data outside of the marketplace, outside of the system? So in this case, consumer, data buyer, will not be able to get a source of reputation and will not be able to verify the data, okay? So basically what Ocean is building is based on top of reputation subsystem. And they're providing a product for reputation, first of all. So trend number three, user, instead of outsourcing the control to some backend service that controls database, user is in full control of his application state. And good example of this trend is the Telegram secret chats. Telegram secret chats. So when you are using end-to-end encryption and you are sending message to your friend using secret chat, only you have the private key, so no one else is able to sign the message and to send it to your friend. That's by the way, my opinion on Telegram Open Network that it's going to be 100% centralized solution, but still all private keys will be stored on your side, on your devices, on your desktop computers, and that's why only you will be able to control the state of the application. Telegram, as an operator of a network, of course, can withhold data by blocking your messages. So, but still, even Pavel Durov for Telegram is not able to change the state of your application, and that's a crucial feature of any decentralized application now, thanks to cryptography, not consensus algorithm, not proof of work. When you store your private key on your device, only you is able to change the state. Next one, eventually, user owns the identity. And just like you own a passport or some kind of ID, you can store the identity on your side. So imagine you have claim that you are over 18 years old and you have your ID or passport that you can use to prove it. And there is an attestation process so that third party can verify your passport and say that yes, it's true, you are over 18 years old, go buy some vodka, it is allowed. So we can rephrase that like this, so that you have a public key, 1, 2, 3, that is over 18 years old, and the proof in this case is your private key, and the attestation process in this case is that you are required to sign the transaction and prove that you are the owner of your private key, okay? So let's see how internet identity evolved. It all started with centralized identity approach, so that each website has its own identity system. This approach has two problems. First one is that user is not in full control of his identity. And second problem is that you end up with like hundreds and hundreds of different logins and passwords. Problem number 2 can be solved by using federated identity approach, so-called single sign-on, also known as single sign-on. But first problem is not unfixed in this case too. Even in this case, it's unresolved. So next we have these two approaches. First one is user-centric identity, and another one is self-sovereign identity. So how to distinguish one from another and how to tell which where is what, I will tell you next. Okay. So user-centric identity is when you can, for example, if you want to, you can be a validator. You can run your own validator, but that's really really rarely used. Okay, scenario. Most of the time we are just using other services like GitHub, like Facebook, to provide the identity for us. So they're in full control of our own identities, and the identity can be taken away at any time. Another example of centralized, user-centric approach is a public key infrastructure. I hope that you have heard about that. So it relies on certified authorities. So it is centralized too. We can't say that it is self-sovereign. Okay. Another project is a PGP Web of Trust that depends on email addresses. That's why it is centralized too, because email infrastructure is centralized. Even it is a decentralized idea, decentralized approach, it still depends on email infrastructure. So here comes self-sovereign identity services that like putting that put user in the center of this picture, and how we can use blockchain in this case. How blockchain will be able to help us? We can put these public keys. We can use blockchain as a persistent storage that we then put our public keys and our claims there. But private keys will be stored in a secure way on the side of a user, just like that. So you see that public key and claim mapping is stored in the persistent store, which is blockchain, and private keys are still controlled by user. So that's how decentralized public infrastructure works. So we have decentralized IDs, plus we have public keys that are placed on chain, and we have some kind of proofs that are like off the chain. And here are a couple of projects that are building self-sovereign identity that are building self-sovereign identity systems. Okay. Not sure whether it is correct, because I don't speak English. I just memorized all the speech, and that's it. So uPort guys from uPort, they are using mainnet Ethereum to use it as a storage of trust anchors. They call it like that. But guys from Sovrin, they instead they're using their own public permissioned ledger. Anyone can read or write there, but only stewards, so-called stewards, can run a node and participate in the consensus algorithm. So basically that's it. And key takeaways is that are that first of all, self-sovereign identity is an evolution of a user-centric identity approach. Second, self-sovereign identity may use distributed ledger technology in order to store public keys plus claims on-chain. And third one, that public key infrastructure is okay, but decentralized public infrastructure is much better. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And I have like a couple of minutes, and then I'm running home.
Okay, so a couple minutes for a question. I see.
Yeah.
Yes, you have one.
Just in a few words, can you tell us a bit more about Theta? What is Theta?
Yeah, sure, okay.
Is that in the context of DPKI
Not
or
really,
SSI?
not really, but so I don't remember. I just I'm joking. So basically, we are like providing our clients with governance subsystem, permission manager, token subsystem, reputation, dispute resolution, etc., etc. But we don't have runtime support currently, and we are not building that. Okay, so it's like a library, framework library that you can like install from your console by typing npm install Theta core, and that's it. Our product is for developers only currently. We don't have a platform. We don't have a front end for.
But it runs on top of existing Ethereum
Yeah, on top of Ethereum. Yeah, it runs on top of yes. So like instead of coding everything by yourself, you just install our solution, and it like simplifies your life. It makes it better.
Okay, just that.
Okay, one more question, maybe.
Yeah, Max. Yeah.
Thanks for a nice overview. Well, my question, you probably already know it, but just to discuss it here, it comes down, the identity management usually comes down to holding a private key. And the private key can be stolen, and there could be security issues like a new schemes for creating public-private keys to upgrade to. How to not to lose the identity with the private key in such circumstances? Are there any solutions for that?
Oh, I'm not sure really. So the question is, yes, that if we like, if I, for example, have a private key and then I like lose it, is it what you were? Yeah. That's a tough question, really. So I don't think that it's solved right now. I'm not sure, really, because if you're like losing your private key and you're losing your identity, okay, if you had some reputation, you're going to lose that reputation that is attached to your private key. That's why Telegram can't control your secret messages. Can't yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have mentioned that we should trust Telegram secret chats. I think no, because if you know that Telegram internally uses a Diffie-Hellman algorithm, and it's a little bit wiki to the MITM attacks, and the internal infrastructure of the whole the Telegram itself is responsible to not to make it happen. So you definitely should maybe change it into your deck.
Yeah, sure. Of course, we should not trust anybody, because even in case, for example, if you are using secret chats, there are like other local vulnerabilities in the like Telegram clients that can like steal your messages. Okay.
No, I'm talking not about the local vulnerabilities into the devices or end level implementations. I'm talking that Diffie-Hellman algorithm that is used widely has a serious weakness to the midterm attacks, and it really relies on some kind of SSL top
Sure.
algorithms.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. So what do you mean is that current cryptography that we are using is like not super good, and but the whole concept of self-sovereign identity is not about like implementation. It's about it's a concept. Okay, so that you put your private key. We don't. I didn't mention what algorithm it is using.
Diffie-Hellman.
Yeah. Currently, yes, we have different algorithms that are widely used. So and they have they may have some vulnerabilities.
I think it's a nice point for you, because if you're really trying to provide a community with decentralized authority management and the identity management, it can be a really huge advantage of you, because you're providing some kind of public keys of your members to the community, so they would be able to perform Diffie-Hellman operations on their sites, and to really mitigate this really
So
handful
true. I
vulnerability.
totally agree with you. So we should like improve algorithms. We should improve our software. We should use different concepts because currently we are like using software that was developed in like 80s, and everybody is okay with that.
So thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Anton. Thank you guys for question. Thank you for answering. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming. Actually, we did it. Yeah, it was our first meetup in Europe, and we did it. Yes, woohoo! Yeah. Yes, Украина, це Європа. Что ж я опять? Okay, so we have like 30 minutes for networking, and bar are still open, but we will prepare packing our stuff. So yeah, I think we will see you again in your city. I don't know, in Minsk, in Kiev, in Moscow, or maybe somewhere else. So stay tuned. Subscribe to all our channels. Like, we have everything. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, wherever you want, and Facebook. Okay. Don't tell Dima, but we have Facebook. Okay, speakers are still here, so you can ask any questions you have to them. So yeah, it was really, really glad to see you all, guys. Bye.